श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We saw yesterday the three orders of reality. Before that, we saw glimpse of how Vedanta understands Bhagavan. What is the understanding of Bhagavan in Vedanta Shastra? More we'll see, but for now, this much is enough to see the vast order that does not at all appear random. Whatever we talk of as random is very studied. An intelligent order, an intelligent Jagat projected to serve a specific purpose. Everything in the universe has a purpose. There is nothing purposeless, including the appendix. People say, many times in the medical science, they say, oh, it's a useless thing, it doesn't have any use. But if you look in other different medical modalities, ancient systems of medicine, the appendix has a lot of use. It modulates the immune system and so many other things the appendix does. And so, therefore, this universe full of, we say names and forms, but really full of intelligent beings. We see the intelligence of Bhagavan, we see the Satchidananda in action. We see Satchidananda moving in an ant. And the ant keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Where it is going, we don't know. And if you put your leg there, it will go over your leg also. This is how the ant keeps going, keeps going. Intelligently it gathers food. Intelligently it saves whatever it has gathered. And you can think of how tiny the brain of the ant must be. But that intelligence, Bhagavan's intelligence pervades in the form of the ant. That Satchidananda is there as the ant, and Satchidananda walks as an ant, sways as a tree, and then sits still in the form of a rock and complains as a human being. Same Satchidananda. Everywhere, same Satchidananda. Very beautiful. And so like this, the whole universe is pervaded by nothing but Bhagavan, Satchidananda. Bhagavan whose nature is Satchidananda. When we say Bhagavan, we are already talking of the creative power. We are already talking about the power to create. We are talking about the power to sustain, the power to take back. We are talking of Maya Shakti. We are talking of the projection. We are talking of he and she, both. When we talk of Satchidananda, it is latent, and it is neither he nor she. We are not talking of any power here because it neither moves, nor shakes, nor causes anything to move. That is Satchidananda. So when we talk about Bhagavan, we say it is the power. And this is what the word Bhagavan means. It is the one, see, the word Van means the one who has. Dhanam asya asti iti. The one who has wealth is called what? Dhanavan. The one who has strength. Balam asya asti iti. Balavan. And then Bhagaha asya asti iti Bhagavan. The one who has Bhaga. What is this Bhaga? It is described in the form of 6 Aishwaryas. Aishwarya means auspicious qualities. Shadaishwarya, 6 auspicious qualities. And for that we say that first one is Aishwaryam, all overlordship. Compare that to yourself. What overlordship do you have? What lordship is there? Even ship is not there. Okay, forget lordship. It's like one person told Pujya Swamiji, I am famous. Where? At home. A few people recognize me. Even if they don't recognize me, the family dog recognizes me and comes to greet me, shaking its tail, wagging the tail. So like this, one enjoys small overlordship. You have your say over a few people. Most of the time they also don't listen to you, but accidentally they may listen and you suddenly feel happy. Oh, okay. And my words have counted here suddenly. Surprise, wonderful. So that is overlordship. But for Bhagavan we add the word Kritsnam, means total. Kritsnam Aishwaryam, total overlordship. And what does the human being have? What kind of overlordship? Finite overlordship. That's all, not total. We know what it is to feel like have some power. Everybody knows. Even the smallest person doing the smallest job knows what that power is. At least the power to control one more person somebody has, they will exercise that control. Even the elevator operator in a big corporate building in India, that's all the job is. Wait till everybody comes, press the whichever button they want, ask, press. Why can't the people do it themselves? Because, too many people doing it, maybe the lift will get completely messed up or something. That's what they are worried about. Or the corporation has some money and then they are going to make this whatever it is, make this payment to the elevator person. So, what kind of an overlordship the elevator one will have? Button pressing overlordship. He sees you coming and he sees the plea in your eye. I have an interview on the 9th floor. Don't do this to me. You can hold one more person. I'm running with all my might. He makes eye contact and presses. Overlordship. Overlordship nicely exercised. His interview and your interview and you going on time for the interview is in whose hand? Elevator one. Yes, not Bhagavan, elevator one. Aishwarya. Samagram Aishwaryam. And then Samagra Shrihi. All resources. All resources such as mineral resources, oceanic resources, under the earth resources, space resources, because there are diamonds in space also. And certain kind of situations those diamonds are made. and wood resources, timber resources, natural resources, mountains, etc. Everything belongs to Bhagavan. Samagra Shrihi. How to understand this? Look at your small Shri. What is the small Shri? A small Shri is like what Pujya Swamiji used to joke. He would say, I can make the richest person poor right now. How? I will just ask them for a donation. What will they say? Sorry, Swamiji, I don't have right now. Everything is caught up and no cash flow. And when you say, I don't have, you become poor in 1 second. In 1 second, you become poor. So, therefore, everybody is wanting in terms of resources. Bhagavan is complete in terms of resources. Total, complete. Samagra Shrihi. And then the other one is this Samagram Jnanam. Samagram Jnanam. Knowledge. All knowledge. All knowledge generally speaking, and all knowledge specifically also all knowledge. And what do you mean by specifically all knowledge? Who should get married to who? That kind of knowledge also Bhagavan has. How to make them meet. That kind of knowledge also Bhagavan has, and the knowledge of the specific is called Vetritvam. Sarva Vetritvam. Knowledge of the specifics. And generally knowing everything is called Sarvajñatvam. Both are the same meaning, but when we talk about Bhagavan, Bhagavan also knows all languages. That's why you don't have to pray only in Sanskrit. You can pray in any language, Bhagavan understands. This is Sarvam Vetti. He knows everything in particular, knows everything in general also. Samagram Jnanam. What is your Jnanam like? Huh? Chant Rama Rama Rama, let me hear. Yeah. All the intermediate ones, chant them, or even advanced ones. Chant Rama Rama Rama. Another day. Today we are, see, you're talking about Bhagavan, so we don't want to interrupt you. Very diplomatic. So, our knowledge is up to the next question. This is Pujya Swamiji's, again Pujya Swamiji's way of looking at it. What is this? What is its name? Rose. Why does it have this kind of a fragrance? I don't know. Every knowledge is up to one more question, no matter how specific. And maybe somebody will be able to tell. Maybe not all of us in this room, but a botanist will say, well, that is to attract bees for pollination. And pollination means for the self-propagation of the species called rose. Then I will ask that botanist, what is this? Oh, flower. In fact, it is species something something. Chrysanthemum. Why are its petals like this and its petals like this? Well, that is so that the leaves, the petals are like this, so that for the chrysanthemum, so that when the wind blows at high speed, it doesn't die and the petals don't all fall. Yeah, but why the rose isn't like that? The wind doesn't come to the rose or what? I think I have a lot to do, so if you will excuse me. They'll never say, I don't know. They won't say, I don't know. What will they say? we are looking into it. Same thing, doctors also don't say, I don't know. Doctors will say, we are looking into it. We are doing a lot of research on it. This is still a very much researched area. But really, that's a polite way of saying, I don't know. This is the extent of our jnana. So how many bhagas did we list? What are they? Samagra Shri, Samagram Aishwaryam, Samagram Jnanam. And then, all this is sounding very good. But then Bhagavan cannot be one where you say, and then topples over. No. Balam. Balam. Samagram Balam. Balavan is Bhagavan. And what is the balam of an individual, a human being? Oh, let us think of the Olympic. Gold medalist, weightlifter. And then you put one feather right there. Gone. Last straw, that's what it's called. Last straw that broke the camel's back. So even the person who is holding up 250 pounds, using every nerve in the body, and then you just put one feather on top of it. That was too much. There is a limit. There is a numerical limit in terms of the strength. But Bhagavan's strength is what? Limitless strength. Now all this limitless limitless Shri, limitless Jnanam, all this must be getting into Bhagavan's head. No. Next one is limitless Vairagya. If these four we had, any human being had, they would be flying high. Catch me if you can. They would be saying like Muhammad Ali, catch me if you can, meaning you can't. I'm riding high, I'm strong, I'm rich, I have overlordship, I'm powerful, rich, strong, and I have power. No, one more, I have strength. All these things, and I have knowledge. Yes, if anybody had that, they would have so much ahankara that such a person would be insufferable. But Bhagavan has total vairagya. Does not let any of this touch the person. Does not let this touch. Makes no difference. Limitless vairagya. What is our vairagya like? Yeah. Sometimes it is there, most of the time you have to look for it. Yeah. It is mislaid, it is lost, or it is insufficient. There, Bhagavan's vairagya, total. Finally, samagram yashas. Yashas means fame. You Google Bhagavan, see how many hits there will be. Yeah, fame. And what is the individual's fame? Few people know me, that's all. I am famous for creating confusion, that's all. Here the fame knows no bounds of fame. This is why Bhagavan is called Bhagavan. The one who has all these in complete, total and full measure is known as Bhagavan. And from the standpoint of the manifest universe, I cannot be in this universe without invoking this Bhagavan, without relating to this Bhagavan. I'm already born related in terms of how I'm born. I'm born related to Bhagavan. But I have to acknowledge this relationship. I have to acknowledge this relationship because herein lies my redemption. In this acknowledged and enacted relationship, lies my redemption. And what is this redemption? Redemption from the day-to-day pains, sorrows, aches, etc. And if one is interested in moksha, the ultimate redemption from thinking that I am subject to sorrow, that redemption is also goes through the doorway marked Bhagavan. Yeah, but I don't like Bhagavan. What do you mean you don't like Bhagavan? What is there not to like? What is there not to like in terms of all power, all knowledge, all glory? What is there not to like? Don't you want all power, all knowledge, all glory? Yeah, but I don't like Bhagavan. This means it's an authority issue. I don't like Bhagavan is an authority issue. It reveals a deep hurt in the psyche that needs to be righted. What is this authority issue? Authority means whoever in the beginning of my life was in a position of authority caused distrust, caused me hurt, and therefore I cannot trust anybody in an authority situation. And who is in the authority situation of the Jagat? Bhagavan, naturally. Who else? That's why religions like Buddhism become very, very famous, because you don't need to deal with Bhagavan. Breathe in, breathe out, meditate, watch the breath, watch the mind, but you don't have to deal with any conscious entity. Therefore, it becomes safe. You see how nothing wrong with Buddhism. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is one's attraction to these kinds of modalities is based on one's own hurts that one cannot go past. This is a very interesting observation. This is not about the religion. This is about oneself. That's why many people who have authority issues and who have been oppressed by mainstream religions, forced to believe, but God is like this, God is formless, but He is in heaven. How can the formless have a gender? Don't ask questions, just believe. And how can the formless need a location to sit? No, don't ask questions. All this is blasphemy. Don't ask, just believe. This is how God is pushed down throats in many, many traditions. And so this not dealing with Bhagavan at all becomes a very alluring option. I want spirituality, but I don't want Bhagavan. I want a plate of chutney, please, without idli. Chutney is Bhagavan, idli is Bhagavan, eater is Bhagavan, eaten is Bhagavan, everything is Bhagavan. And the one who says, I don't want to deal with Bhagavan, happens to be what? Bhagavan. Happens to be Bhagavan. So if I say, I don't want to deal with Bhagavan, what am I saying? I don't want to deal with myself. Yeah, we knew that already. That's why we are here. We knew this already. It's very difficult to deal with oneself. We know that already. Because there is self-judgment, because there is self-loath, because there is self-questioning, because there is self-doubt, because one cannot stand oneself. We know that already. Nothing new in this. There is no revelation here. When I address the question of self-judgment, self-loath, self-non-acceptance, self-critique, then I am also addressing my hatred of Bhagavan, my fear of Bhagavan, my fear of authority. Because the one who hates oneself happens to be Bhagavan, none other than Bhagavan. And so therefore here Arjuna is being instructed about the nature of this Atma as it obtains in the body, mind, sense complex. Who is this Bhagavan? This Bhagavan is you. And this Bhagavan is what? Achedya. This Atma. So as it obtains in the body, mind, sense complex, this Bhagavan gets a new nomenclature, Atma, I. So this Atma is what? Achedya, cannot be pierced with a knife. Adahya, cannot be burnt with fire. Ashoshya, cannot be dehydrated by air, cannot be damaged by air. Akledya, cannot be damaged by water. What about space? Space cannot damage anyway. So by the 4 elements of the 5, it is that which is indestructible. And then even positively it is told, Nityaha, Sarvagataha, all pervasive. The I is everywhere. The whole manifest universe is nothing but Satchidananda, 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 Satchidananda. Satchidananda is nothing but Bhagavan, and so the whole universe is a manifestation of Bhagavan. And so here, there, everywhere you look, everywhere you are, all there is Satchidananda, and so Sarvagataha, all pervasive. Sthanuhu means yet unmoving, unchanging from its, unswerving from its nature. Sthanuhu, it is here. It is the adhisthana for everything moving. Everything moving and unmoving relies on this, which is the adhisthana, sthanuhu, achalaha, unmoving, sanatanaha, that which was there always. Avyaktaha, invisible, achintyaha, cannot be understood as an object. Avikaryaha, not subject to any modification. Knowing all this, there is nothing to grieve anymore. Stop crying, Arjuna. There is no grief. Because if this is the nature of your Atma, what is the nature of Duryodhana's Atma? Unbelievable, but same. But same, yes. Same is the nature of Duryodhana's Atma. So if it cannot be killed by the sword, if it cannot be drowned, if it cannot be set fire to, then what are you worried about? Get ready to fight. Get ready to start looking at this battle philosophically, not materially. In the light of this knowledge of the self, in the light of the knowledge that all that is here is Bhagavan, understand this, that this war is also anivarya. Anivarya means not possible to avert. This possible, if it was possible to avert, it would have been averted. But there is a collective karma waiting to get its due, waiting to get its horrible due. You are not the cause of this karma, and you are not the redeemer of people from this karma either. What is your role? You have to play a role in the play called Kurukshetra, Yuddha Parva. That is the name of the play now. The Yuddha Parva means the chapter where the war breaks out. In the Mahabharata, that is what it's called. The chapter where the war breaks out. You just have to bring your ayudhas. You have to show up. You cannot just sit down in the battlefield and say, I'm going. Why? Because I don't like the rules. You did not make the rules, but you have to follow the rules. Just like in a big game. You have a cricket game. And then the batsman does not like the bowler. I don't like how you bowl. Therefore, what are you going to do? I'm going to go home with my bat. Can't do that. Can't leave the game in the middle. You signed up to play, this role, you have to fulfill this role. Why? Because then he says, let us look at this verse. "31. Swadharmamapi chavekshya न विकम्पितुम अर्हसि धर्म्याद्धि युद्धात् श्रेयोन्यत क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते." So even, see, right now we have been looking at it from the standpoint of, on a philosophical note. We have been looking at it from the standpoint of Bhagavan. We have been looking at it from the standpoint of the Jagat. We have been looking at the standpoint of Atma, the same Bhagavan in every heart. We have been looking at the standpoint from how this Bhagavan is indestructible in every heart. So therefore you need to fight. We have also been seeing how the same I goes through many iterations. Kaumaram, Yavvanam, Jara. Even in one body, 3 iterations: childhood, youthhood, old age. All these things are the expressions of the same I, stages. But the same I undergoes many stages without really undergoing any change. And then tatha dehantara prapti, we saw that even between lives they take on, the jivas take on other bodies for the fulfillment of various desires which are standing in their name, standing in their account. They take on various bodies, and then we also saw that the bodies are cast off. Vasamsi, vasas means cloth. Vasamsi, and then vasamsi means clothes. Vasamsi jirnani, old clothes. Yatha vihaya, just as you throw it off, you take on other clothes. Old t-shirt, more holes than t-shirt, holy t-shirt. Then what happens? It's so comfortable, it's so wonderful, but can't really wear it anymore. What do you have to do? Tata, throw it away. And then you wear a new t-shirt. This is what you do. Same thing with the bodies. So old doesn't mean elderly. Old means whose purpose has served. Otherwise the question will come, it's not just elderly people that die. Alas, sometimes people die prematurely, young children die. And so this is a fact of life. So what do you mean, Vasamsi Jirnani? These are not old bodies. They are not old bodies, yes. But they are bodies for which the purpose of birth and life, whatever reason they were born, has already been fulfilled. Sometimes what the explanation that we give is called Shishta Prarabdha. Shishta Prarabdha means, suppose somebody was supposed to live to up to 80 years, let us say. 80 years was the lifespan allotted by Bhagavan. But because this is Kali Yuga, and because we love to abuse our bodies, because we love fast food and over-processed food, everything, let's say the person who was allotted a lifespan of 80 years because of abusing the body died when? At age 70, let us say. Then those 10 years that were supposed to be were exhausted in that lifetime did not happen. Why? Free will prevailed over the prarabdha. The free will to abuse the body prevailed over the prarabdha. So sometimes what will happen is that somebody, that same person is born for 10 years to endure what is called Shishta Prarabdha. This is one explanation we give. But really nothing consoles. Nothing consoles, because the loss of a young one is very, very difficult to overcome. So then here, so just like casting off clothes, the bodies are also cast off. We saw that. And then even if you think these jivas are always being born, doesn't matter. That which is always born is subject to death. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. And this is apariharya, meaning cannot be changed. Natvam shochitum arhasi. So many reasons I am giving you, Arjuna, not to be grieving, A, and second, to be getting ready to fight. So now I am going to make the reason very, very clear, not philosophically, because we are, we have finished with the vision of Bhagavan and the vision of the I. We have finished with the Vedantic vision. Now, swadharmam cha api avekshya. From the standpoint of your own duty also. Navikampitum arhasi. You do not deserve to start now being on shaky grounds. Why? Because for the Kshatriya, who is Arjuna? Kshatriya, for the warrior. Dharmyadhi yuddhat shreyah anyat shreyah na vidyate kshatriyasya. For the Kshatriya, a greater glory than such a battle is not available. And look at this battle. Yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavritam sukhinaha kshatriyah partha labhante yuddhamidrisham. Labhate yuddhamidrisham. This kind of, you didn't come scratching for this war. You didn't come to glorify your name and start this war. Even without you wanting it, this obvious opportunity for glory has fallen in your lap, Arjuna. It's as though the doors of heaven have opened up. And very rarely, Sukhinaha means by luck, by great good fortune, for a Kshatriya, this kind of a cut and dry situation, a cut and dry war, with Bhagavan at your side appears. With Bhagavan telling you what to do. Kill that fellow now, don't wait. Bhagavan is directing everything. All you have to do is just follow commands. Nobody will have this kind of an opportunity. You are one of the rare ones who has this opportunity, and then he touts this opportunity. He says it's dharmyam, it is dharmad anapetam, means it is very much in keeping with dharma. It is very much not away from dharma. And then what else? You have this unasked opportunity. Hatobha prapsyasi swargam. If you are killed, what will happen? You will go straight to heaven. And then jitva va, if you are not killed and then you become victorious, bhokshyase mahim, you will be the unrivaled king of the universe. But supposing you sit and fester some more, na yotsye, he had said, those were his last words before Lord Krishna took over the dialogue. Na yotsye, I am not going to fight. So, imam dharmyam sangramam nakarishyasi. If you refuse to fight this war, papam avapsyasi, you will be incurring papa. How is it possible to incur papa by not doing something? Papa means bad karma, bad karmic results. So bad karma, how do you get? By doing something bad. That's what you get, bad karma. But here what he's saying, I'll not fight the war. So by not fighting the war, how will you get bad karma? How is that even possible to get bad karma by not fighting the war? That's why the Vedic religion, the Vedic dharma is very, very interesting and beautiful. It's worth really looking into, because there are certain karmas that absolutely have to be done. They are called nitya karma. They include both religious and mundane karma. Secular, so-called secular karma. What is secular nitya karma? Brushing teeth, taking shower. Correct? If you say, I'm not going to do this, what will happen? Will there be consequences or not? Yes. Nobody will sit next to you. That is the drishtaphala. Okay? Few days of keeping this up, especially in this cold weather where everything is closed, nobody is going to sit next to you. So so there are consequences. So not doing also is a consequence. And nitya karma, if you do, religious nitya karma, daily puja, feeding the animals, feeding all the people, and Panchamaha Yajna, all these things are there, we will see in detail. But then, if I don't do all this, then what will happen? There is a papa karma that one incurs called pratyavaya dosha. Pratyavaya. Pratyavaya is a particular kind of a papa karma. And then what happens as a result of this pratyavaya? As a result of this pratyavaya, one gains papa. One has to endure papa in this or in other lives. So omission is also a papa, not just the papa of commission, but the papa of omission also exists. Sometimes it's a life and death situation. You can't say, oops, I forgot to tell the person that one of the bricks in the ceiling of their home is loose. I saw it, it can fall any time, I forgot to tell. That has consequences, especially if you willingly forgot to tell. Even if you forgot to tell, and then you realized you forgot to tell but did not go back and make amends, then you will incur pratyavaya dosha. So here he says that if this sangramam na karishyasi, then two kinds of consequences you are going to get. One is papa. Why? Because you have erred against swadharma. What were you put here on earth to do? Fight. And what's the only thing you are saying you won't do? Fight. This is a problem. By any definition, this is a problem. It's like a person who says, I am employed as security. I have an employment, I am a guard. I'll do everything except guard. Then what's the point of hiring such a person? But the person waits till they get the job to tell you this. And so therefore, this is against every dharma, especially what is called swadharma. We have seen swadharma. What is swadharma we saw in detail. What you are meant to do, swadharma. And your own self-discovery with regard to this upadhi, swadharma. And the final swadharma is what? Gaining this knowledge. That's the ultimate, that's not mentioned because that is taken for granted. So this swadharma, from the standpoint of being a kshatriya, swadharmam cha avekshya, things will happen, you will get papa in the here or hereafter. And then all this time you have worked for fame. You come from a brilliant family of warriors. And that reputation you are going to besmirch. And because of you, the whole Kuru clan is going to lose its creds. Creds means what? Credentials, short form. Lose its credentials because of your foolishness. You have worked so hard for your own name and to glorify the name of your whole clan. And here you were in the first chapter giving me a lecture on clan reputation and clan dharma. But here you are taking the whole clan and mixing it, drowning it in ditch water. That's what you're doing by this one act. Actually, it's not even an act, it's a refraining from the act of fighting. By refraining, so you're going to get two consequences. You're going to get akirti. Akirti means the disrepute is akirti. You're going to get akirti when? Right here, right now. Drishtaphalam. Drishtaphalam means obvious result of karma. Immediate result, visible result of your non-action, your omission. Then what is the adrishtaphalam? A result that is kept in abeyance and will come later, and that is what? Papa. Every action is like that. It has drishtaphalam and adrishtaphalam. It's like you don't know where you're walking, you suddenly get up. You're not walking, you're bending to get something from under the table. You don't know when the table ends, you suddenly get up. What happens? Yeah, terrible bang on the head. Ow, 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 ow. Drishtaphalam. And then one day later, you have a police siren on top of the head. What is that? Yeah, it comes a little later, adrishta. That is adrishta. Because it manifests later. That swelling which you have manifests a little later. This is adrishta. So like this, the drishtaphala is dragging the entire Kuru clan. Kurus include the Pandavas as well. So entire Kuru clan, you're dragging it to a state of disrepute, and this is a brilliant clan. This is a reputable clan. And here you are lecturing to me about clan dharma. Look at what you are about to do. And then the adrishtaphalam is, what you are doing is papa karma. And you are handing victory to Duryodhana, the tyrant, and his friends on a silver platter, along with akshata and tambulam, along with coconut and everything that you give. You are just handing the victory to them. What is wrong with you? Don't you see what Duryodhana is planning to do if you do this? In the event that you do this, Duryodhana is going to advertise. He's going to bring out the newspapers. Arjuna runs in fright. Bhayad ranadu paratam mamsyante tvam tava ahitaha. Ahitaha means your people who are ill-wishers. Nindantastava samarthyam. They are going to criticize what they think is a lack of your staying power, your cowardice. Tato dukkhatarannu kim. Nothing is more miserable than that. And you think you can go to Rishikesh, and you wanted to take sannyasa. You are busy trying to get, what is that? Orange clothes from Amazon. I want sannyasa. Why? Because that's a way out of fighting this war. Guess what? Where will you go? I already told you I'm going to Haridwar. All right, you'll go to Haridwar. And then some enterprising person will put a board where the tree that you're sitting under will have a board. Come see Arjuna who left the battle. Only 24 annas in those days, yeah. Come see for a small fee this Arjuna who left the battle and then who is sitting here becoming a sadhu. Don't let the beard fool you. It's the same Arjuna we have verified. And people will come look. Some of them, few people who don't know much about the Mahabharata, etc., will want to come take a selfie with you, and the rest of the people are going to spit at you. Because they know what happened to they know the carnage that happened. They know how Duryodhana just declared a premature victory, but did not let the army go. What happened is that he just massacred the whole army. This is what he would do. He would massacre the whole army, and the Pandavas, because you ran away, they all will run away. They cannot fight without you. Bhima, maybe he will try to hold the fort for a little while, but he too will be overpowered. Nobody will be there. And then all the people who saw this will be completely filled with spite and hurt for you. And sambhavitasya akirtihi maranad atirichyate. The disrepute of the one who has been celebrated is very, like yourself, is very difficult to bear, Arjuna. It is in fact worse than death. Worse than death it is. And then you will get, what you will get is you will get smallness. Avachya vadamscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha. Avachya vadam means all these curse words that they have stored for you and you alone. I cannot even repeat it in this book. All the Sanskrit 4-letter words will come out when they come to see you. And what else? So, this is the choices are very clear. If you are killed in this, you will be glorified on earth and in heaven. If you survive, of course you will be victorious. Get up, fight, and don't be this wishy-washy remnant of a human being that I am having difficulty recognizing as the Arjuna I know. And then he says that there is one way out of this impasse. What is the way out of this impasse? Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. One option is open to you. That which is making you not want to fight. What is that? Shoka moha, in other words, raga dvesha. That which is making you not want to fight, put that aside. Put the raga dvesha aside. Because the raga dvesha is what causing sukha and dukkha. I feel sukha in thinking about not fighting. I feel dukkha in thinking about fighting. Put those two aside. They have nothing to do with you. They are just offshoots of a mind that is mired in confusion. Put those two aside. In fact, that's how you fight every war. In every war, you hope to be victorious, yes, but then you are prepared for defeat. In every match, you see Wimbledon, you see anything, in any tennis match also, that's how it starts. The person hopes, I hope I can be the winner, but if I'm not, then what? Be gracious, go to the other side, the other person is just, doing kushti to the air and feeling very happy. You go and shake the hand of your opponent. Well played. Wonderful game. Be a cheerful and graceful loser. There is nothing wrong. So, sukha, dukkha, labha, alabha. Whatever I'm going to get out of this, nothing, all this, put it aside. Suspend this raga dvesha that is coming in these forms. Sukha, dukkha. This is comfortable, this is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable to fight, it is comfortable not to fight. No. Put that aside. Labha, alabha. Oh, what will I get out of this? No. Put that aside. I don't want rajya, I don't want kingdom, I don't want glory, I don't want victory. Put that aside. Nobody asked you what you want. Nobody asked you, oh, you are going to fight, what do you want? No. This is not the Kurukshetra buffet. You can't just pick and choose what you want. You are here, you have to fight. Simple. Jaya, Ajaya. Jaya means victory. Ajaya, defeat, Parajaya. Jaya, Parajaya, put that aside. And then you just Sukha Dukkhe Same Kritva Labha Labhau Jaya Jayau. Tataha, in this manner, Yuddhaya Yujyasva. Get ready for battle. Then what? Naivam Papam Avapsyasi. You can get over this papa. And then he says, you really need to make up your mind about this. Because your confusion is because you are not able to have strong resolve. And he says there is a nice topic change here. Esha te bhihita abhihita sankhye. Sankhye buddhya esha abhihita. All this has been taught to you, my Arjuna, my dear fellow. I have taught you everything. Esha means esha sankhya buddhi abhihita. Buddhi here is wisdom. This wisdom based on the Paramarthika Satta. This wisdom based on Paramarthika Satta has been told to you in great detail. Paramarthika Satta means the nature of Bhagavan, everything. With regard to self-knowledge, with regard to Atma-vidya has been told to you. Now what? Yoga, yoge. Yoge tu imam shrinu. From the standpoint of yoga. What kind of yoga? Karma yoga. Jnana yoga has been taught. Karma yoga. From the standpoint of karma yoga, you please listen properly. Why? Because if the Jnana yoga had worked, he would already been fighting. But he didn't even get up from the chariot. Did not even get up from the chariot. That means some more measures are necessary. So this buddhi, yoga buddhya imam shrinu. Listen to this now. Listen to this more imminent wisdom. Yaya buddhya yukta, endowed with which wisdom you will gain glory. What kind of glory? You will be glorious in everything that you do. You will gain glorious repute, and also you will gain this self-knowledge because you will prepare for this self-knowledge indirectly by disciplining your raga-dveshas. This disciplining of the raga-dvesha is what? Karma yoga. This is what we are going to embark upon. What about bhakti yoga? What about this yoga? What about that yoga? We'll see in the beginning of the 3rd chapter that Bhagavan only gives 2 committed lifestyles. Yoga here is nishtha, nitaram sthitihi, a committed lifestyle to gain this knowledge. And only 2 in number are given both in the Upanishad and in the Bhagavad Gita. One is self-knowledge directly for those who are ready. Ready for what? Ready to give up everything. Ready to give up all, ready to just take off. Me and the sky, that's all it is. That is self-knowledge. I am not going to pursue anything. I am going to drop all pursuits except that of self-knowledge. I take myself to an ashram, stay there and study all the time. That's all I do. This is called Jnana Yoga. Jnanameva Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Oh no, this is too drastic. I can't do that. I have many irons in the fire. I have many kinds of things I wish to do. I have many things yet to accomplish. then in that, but I still want this knowledge, then in that case, the first one is called moksha express, or that's how Arjuna understands, and the second one is what? A little bit slower, that's all. Slower because many other things are involved. Not that the other one is fast, that the other one will also take time because you have to offload all the internal characters that you're carrying. You may have bid goodbye to the external characters, but the internal characters have to be processed and you have to gain inner maturity. So both are really the same. It just depends on what you are ready for. And so these are the two options in front of you. The first option was already talked, was already told. This is what to do. What is the problem? Self-ignorance. What is the antidote? Self-knowledge. And this self-knowledge can be gained slowly over the period of one's life after getting ready to gain this knowledge, or it can be entered into. Self-knowledge can be entered into full-time or part-time. That's the only option. So this is what Karma Yoga is. Karma Yoga is doing what I'm continuing to do, but with a big difference. Some main tenets of Karma Yoga we will see. First is, I stop doing karma for the sake of results. And I do it for the sake of inner growth and maturity. I do it for the sake of overcoming raga and dvesha. First point, Karma Yoga is not for the sake of results, but for what? Inner growth. Inner growth through the management, through learning to manage raga and dvesha. And then this is very difficult to do, because all this time how I have done karma for the sake of results. How to give up the orientation of the sake of results? For that I need a lot of help. Therefore, I have to bring Bhagavan into the picture. No Karma Yoga without the presence of Bhagavan. Point number 2. Karma Yoga, it is not called Karma Yoga if Bhagavan is not in the picture. You may be leading a good ethical life, that's about it. Bhagavan bringing into the picture means acknowledging the presence of that because of whom I have the ability to do, to not do, to do differently. This is very important. So this is the second one. Because why to bring Bhagavan in? I bring Bhagavan in as the proxy actor. That's why in every Hindu household you go and celebrate somebody. You say, oh, you've got such a nice house. They'll say Bhagavan's grace, Guru's grace. You are such a good, oh, all God's grace. Inside they may be feeling very happy, oh, I'm being praised. But still, what they will say is they ascribe it to Bhagavan. This is a very important way to go about it. If I take on the praise, then I have to take on also the criticism. So I stop at assigning praise to myself, I assign it directly to Bhagavan. Somebody says, oh, what a wonderful thing that you're doing. I step out of the way, let Bhagavan take the credit. Let Bhagavan take the credit. I'm not in this picture at all because, and it is the truth also. When you say I did it, that in that I, there are so many unsaid, unacknowledged things. You have the buddhi to do it. I already asked you, did you make your own buddhi? No. You didn't make your own buddhi. You have the hands were given, buddhi was given, raw material was given. What is the credit here? Where should the credit go? There is no credit. There is no authorship. There is no agency of yours anyway. So I consciously refrain from classifying myself as the agent of knowledge. I bring in Ishvara as a proxy actor And then it becomes easier to say that the results of action are not mine. They come as a prasada from Ishvara. This is point 3. Prasada from Ishvara, so the results of action, I do not control the results of action. They are a gift from Ishvara. Bhagavan's gift, number 3. Number 4, seeing that it is a prasada from Bhagavan, I have to learn to gladly accept whatever comes. We look at all this in detail. Right now, just listing it. I have to accept whatever comes, because what choice I have? Oh, I can change, yes. But supposing you can't change, what choice do you have? No choice. So therefore, I take whatever comes. And the feelings that I have, the feelings of non-acceptance, etc., I work through. I work through that. And that is how I grow. This is what is karma yoga. And karma yoga becomes important because without that there is no self-growth. The person comes to karma yoga all angular and full of sharp edges. The practice of karma yoga every day makes one eventually into a Shivalinga, polishes one, makes one worshipable. Really. One becomes worshipable because the angular raga dveshas are all smoothed out. The person who was just fighting at every drop of a hat, you just said hello. Why are you telling me hello? What's wrong with you? This kind of a person becomes an accepting person, a non-reactive, non-demanding, objective, compassionate, accommodative person. And for such a person alone, the knowledge of the Upanishad speaks. Otherwise, it's like a plane flying overhead. Lots of noise, no moksha, no redemption, no liberation. Because the bondage is through what? One's own ragadvesha. The last point of karma yoga is, I never lose sight that my destination is moksha. I don't get confused that my destination is finding another job, or going somewhere, or doing this, doing that. And the example that is given is like going to the airport. Pujya Swamiji's example. You have to go to the airport, and then you find that as you are setting off to go to where? Hello? Where are you going?
Airport.
Yeah. So, as you are setting off to go to the airport, you get a text message from the airline. The plane has been delayed. Your flight has been delayed by 3 hours. But you are already on the way. You can turn back if you want to, but why? That's okay. I'll just do some other things. Maybe I will go and get a snack on the way to the airport. Then you go get a snack, go to the grocery shop, buy a snack. But do you do shopping for the whole week? Because you're on the way to the airport. Finally getting it. So you just buy what you can eat on the plane, some small snack. You indulge yourself and buy some snack. Then you find that you have more time. Let's say you have some dry cleaning you can drop off on the way to the airport. You drop off the dry cleaning. And then you find you still have some time. Suddenly you remember you have a friend who lives near the airport. Yes. And you call the friend, are you at home? Yes, I'm at home. You know, I was going to catch this flight and then I have so much time now. and your friend says, please come visit me. Park your car at my place. I will drive you to the airport. And in this way, how many things have you done? You have gone to the dry cleaners. Before that, you went to the grocery shop. And then before that, you went to buy a small gift for your friend. And then you went to the friend's house. The friend says, oh, there is a very nice coffee shop right next to my house. Let's go, and it's newly opened. Let's go and sample its wares. You went out for coffee also. All the time, where were you headed? Airport. This is what Karma Yoga is like. Except you replace the word airport with moksha. It is that is what it is. So education is for the sake of what? Moksha is on the way to moksha. Marriage is on the way to moksha. Finding a job is on the way to moksha. Having children definitely is on the way to moksha. In fact, they will quicken your journey. How do they do that? They press every button you never thought you had. Yes. Yeah. Having children is highly recommended because you get to moksha fast, moksha express. So marriage is for what sake? Moksha. Children are for whose sake? Moksha. Retirement is for whose sake? Moksha. Everything is for, whatever I do is for the sake of moksha. This is how I take the time to grow into a person ready for this knowledge. I keep studying. I may not be able to study 5 hours a day like we do here at the ashram. One may not be able to do that in a sustained manner. But 1 hour a day, definitely one can manage. That itself is enough. 1 hour a day one can manage. Sometimes you can manage 2 hours a day during the weekend or something like that. Wonderful. All the time you are ready for what? Moksha. This is what is Karma Yoga. As easy as going to the airport. Yes. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaga Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari